This feels like a deja vu. Hi! Welcome back to Primitier. Once again, we kind of start off the very same way we left off last time. Well, not how we left. Well, yeah, how we left off last time and also how we started last time. Thus all was but a dream. Okay, this time I'm gonna change things up just a little bit. So since we've seen this all before, let's jump right in, because we have to do all of that again. I know, there's no way around it. We do want the apples. No, wait, we want the sticks. And therefore, we have to get the apples. This way around. Also, knowing that they don't grow when they're connected like this, I can just throw them on the ground however I want. I still am scared that they will grow, even in that state. But I mean, we do still have the apples around, laying at the back over there. So this should not be any problem. Okay, so today we're gonna change it up a little bit, because I don't have that much time. I need to prepare stuff for the evenings, so we're gonna be strictly on 30 minutes. And we're not gonna build today, because I don't want to bring an axe to the house. All we're gonna do is just sticks. Stick after stick after stick after stick after stick. So the first part will be pretty similar, if not the very same, to what we did last time with all the sticks and trees here. And the second part, where we would have been to the house, would be even more sticks. Because that's what we do now. And before I forget it, there's one thing I want to do before. Because I blame it all on the tungsten, or nothing else, because tungsten is a hefty material here. It's quite a thing to have around. So if I would, for example, don't we have a good stone slab? Okay, this one's quite big. Let's take this. Now we do have a few tungsten things around here, which I can use to... Nice. I don't know how I grabbed it that way, but I'm quite happy about it. Do we have... Not really, we only have those blocks. What is this? This is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, and this should be helpful, because it's not as efficient in cutting, so we're gonna have a few troubles, but all the precision work will be outside anyway. Now there's one thing I want to do right now, which first is to save the game, just in case. Just in case. We're not doing anything silly again. Okay, we saved, so it doesn't matter. Oh no! Well, okay, even if, yep. I like how it's kind of looking realistic in a way. Okay, so the floor is bad. But tools are not really allowed up here anyway, so... The mistake last time was to use trigger. So if we just use the slab itself without a handle, we can have it around here, because I don't intend to drop it. And the reason I dropped the axe last time was because I used trigger for my play space mover. And trigger is the thing that disconnects. And I was holding the handle, as you would. So if I have the slab itself in my hand and move up and down, technically all my flooring should be safe. So what we're gonna do now is... Oh! since we're already on a destructive way anyway, I'm gonna show you something, the difference between this flooring and this 500 flooring, because I can just, yep. That's why this flooring took so long to do. I can just, yep. And it needs a lot of accidents, a lot of neglect. Otherwise, 504. This didn't even damage. That did not even damage. So if you want to improve this design, what you would want to do is change out the ceiling here, or the floor if you're upstairs, whatever, that layer of wood, and turn it from 1 centimeter into whatever centimeter that is. About 10, 20. It will take a lot of effort because you would need to find a way to get all the materials up there. But honestly, if you take years more time for yourself than I did, you could technically build those lines here first. Maybe a few more, maybe thicker ones, whatever suits you. And then from the backside, you would invest time into building a ramp. For that you need a lot of extra material, and you will have to disassemble it later on. But that way you can bring floor tiles with this thickness into the ceiling there, and whatever tool you drop there, well, whatever stone tool you drop there, won't damage too much, because we got the clear difference between this dropping and this dropping. And I feel way more safe in a house like this. So whenever we decide that we have a more efficient way to get the materials, which will be one of the future projects, of course, and we decide to do another house, I'm gonna improve on this here. Because once we find a way to transport heavy material and to find a way to get it into a place safely, we're gonna have everything for a better house. That's for the future though. Also, yeah. Now we're gonna load this up again. We should have saved right here outside. Told ya. Okay. So we don't need this, and we only keep this around. Got it. Good. Okay, so this is for later, because we're gonna do the stick thing again and be safe before and be very careful to not drop it. So that's kind of the point of where we can continue where we stopped last time. Any kind of tungsten material is, well, not any kind. If we want to do a stove or something, we're gonna need tungsten, but any tungsten tool is forbidden inside, especially upstairs. I think maybe the flooring can take 1 tungsten drop. Although no, I don't think that, because if you remember right, the tungsten did not fall on the floor last time. It did fall on the wall. And the wall is kind of in the same strength as the downstairs floor is. Right? So, maybe that's not good. Also, another reason we're not doing so much today is not just because of the time restraints, but also because it's still 29 to 30 degrees over here. And as much as I love you guys, and as much as I want to entertain you the whole day through, believe me, I can't. Right now, if I wouldn't value my life and wanted to end as quickly as possible, I just have to start up Beat Saber and play for an hour. I know perfectly well that tomorrow I will be no more. The heat is unbearable, I tell you. About 1.5 months ago, we had a similar peak in heat. And I was thinking that was... Didn't we? Oops. And I was thinking that was it, and didn't expect it to come back like this. But here we are. Oh, now I have to do all of that again. Wait. We still have the outline of the roof. Yeah, I'm recording on a day-to-day basis right now. There. On a day-to-day basis, so sometimes I kind of forget what I was doing and whatnot in which episode. Also, it's a few episodes ago and I forgot to talk about it, but I've been walking around the back part over the hill and I found out that we actually have ice sheets pretty close by. I have no idea what to do with that information. But in case we want to experiment with ice sheets, we can. Alright. Click and click. Nothing like a little timbering. Okay, so... if we want to automate the stick farming, in theory, we would need a timer. Since there is not really any sensor to see if a tree is there or fallen or anything, no, not really doable. Not really doable. I'm thinking, how would I? Can we have something like a once per day sensor? Yes, we can. That would be possible. We do need a few more solar panels as the only kind of sensor we have in the game. And the idea would be that we have a... what is it called? A switch? A latch? It's been a while since I did all the Minecraft stuff, so I don't have the technical terms for gates anymore. But what we could do is have the two sensors going. One that activates once it gets daylight, and one that activates when it gets nighttime. Well, no daylight. Yeah, there would be a way for the nighttime thing. It would put pressure on a motor until it has no energy anymore, and I don't have the specifics. I would need to write that down and think about it. I can't do this like immediately out of my head, but with something like this, we could have a once per day mechanism. So kind of a clock in good old Minecraft terms. And with that clock, we would be able to run a signal, which would just be a cable, like an electric cable, through a few of, let's name them plots. So the idea would be to have two mechanisms going on. The first one is a saw, kind of a rotary saw that we had long ago with drones. So a simple motor with a spinny blade. And then we kind of need a stop, so the spinny blade will stay in place. And once that is done, we need something like a trapdoor, so we can place a lot of apples on something like a chute, And when the trapdoor opens, one apple can fall through where the tree was before. That means we need a third mechanism, a pusher. So we first cut, then we push, and then the apple comes through. That is... You can imagine I don't want to do this anytime soon. But if we really run out of ideas and we really want to automate stuff, we can do that. So maybe this will become a factory game sooner or later. Well, more later than sooner, but the possibility is there. Might be hilarious. I mean, the physics are so wonky, we actually would be able to get a real factory going. For whatever. For the simplest timber trees or just, I don't know, something else. That would be something. But you know how progress is. You first have to do all the intermediate stuff before you do the heavy stuff. For example, for the heavy lifting, like, I don't know yet what I will use. My mind jumps to the word crane, although I have no idea how I would move or even operate that thing. But to get something like that going, we first need a smaller crane or something similar to build the heavy lifting one, because the heavy lifting one will have big and strong materials. And to get all of them in place, you need something that gets them in place. You see? So, whatever we are doing here, as long as we're not completely standing still, we will have improvements. Even the cart. The cart took some while, but whenever we want something like sulfur, we can go out. Then we have a first iteration of the cart with T. And from there we can redesign it. We did it once, now we know how to do it, and we can have a better, more suited design. Like one fault it had was that heavy lifting, like a lot of sulfur for example, it was not able to move after that, at least not as well as I wanted it to. So the next cart the next cart iteration would be better suited to lift medium heavy weights, so no windmill base, but something like, well, the sulfur, I guess. And from there, well, we can do more and more. Then we get a more streamlined cart that could go onto a raft, and so we can always improve on stuff. What I want to say is we've got a lot to do still. Let's keep this together again. The first trees are grown, so I can take them apart again. Ay. So, I'm gonna have an eye on the timer today. It's maybe a little bit more hectic from your point of view. Sorry for that. Oh. Wait, it's nighttime. You know what this can mean? We're gonna make it beautiful. I could have sworn I have some... That's hematite. Where are all the... Where's my pyrite? I had so much pyrite around here, and now all the pyrite is gone. Here we've got some. Come sit at the campfire, sing the campfire song. If this catches over, our whole day will be ruined. Video game fire is beautiful. If you wouldn't know me, you think I'm a pyromaniac with how much I talk about fire in video games and how much I appreciate fire in video games. But I tell you what, I'm not even courageous enough to use matches. So I avoid fire in real life wherever I can. But in video games, I'm like, matchsticks go brrrr. I don't even like to use fire to heat up my tea. Like, it's an interesting, maybe because here there are no consequences. Video games are a consequence-free space. I mean, it's like RPGs. You like to play rogues. You like to steal stuff from people. You would never, well, I hope you would never want to steal stuff from people in real life. But you still like to play the rogue, go around, and just nick things. Well, you don't necessarily have to be a rogue. I'm just a hoarder in video games, so stealing stuff is not because of the malicious intent to steal stuff, but mostly just because, hey, shiny thing. I want shiny thing. Give me shiny thing. Not yours anymore. Now it's my shiny thing. And yet I'm something like a healer, paladin, whatever. Even though I take stuff. I don't know what kind of alignment that is, but you guys heard of Undertale before. If there are no consequences, sometime you just start doing stuff. Your whole character just changes. So that's a thought I had sometimes. I told you before that sometimes I like to think about philosophical concepts, and one of them is something along the lines, not eternal life, but more like, what if you had, okay, no specific superpower, but what if you had just the right powers so there are no consequences? Like, we talked about Undertale, well, I just talked about Undertale a second ago, so what about save games? If you had save games in real life, how long would it take until you change your character? Or just do something? Maybe you start out feeling absolutely bad about it. But what after a while? Will you still feel bad? Would you start to engage in worse and worse stuff? There is no answer because there is no way to test that. We all can say like immediately, yeah, we would let go of all shame and stuff. Or no, I will never. I'm a good person at heart. And both of these people can be right and wrong. Because we just don't know. We can say a lot of stuff. Did you ever had that there's an event going on that you were preparing and planning for, like a game convention or a birthday or something like this? So an event that you were able to prepare, look forward to, and it all turns out absolutely different than you thought. You wanted to go to all the stands at a game convention to meet all of the people, creators and stuff, test out all the demo games, and in the end, you spend half your day at the snack bar with your friends. Or the birthday, you wanted to do, to have all the best music around and stuff, and then you ended up all watching YouTube memes together. Or, I don't know, it's been a while since I've been to a birthday party. No, what I want to say with that is we can say as much as we want about the impossible situation, like what would you do with just the right powers like save game? We just can't know. We can say whatever we want, and in the end, only if it would happen, which it can't, sadly, what our true character would be like. Oh, shy. And that's kind of the thing why I judge people the way I judge them, because they can internally think, you can internally think whatever you want. You can be, in your own thoughts, be the worst person to ever exist. I will still like you. Because here's the thing. We don't have mind reading yet. I mean, just wait a few years until the microchips in the brain become a real thing and you get advertisement directly into your brain, and the corporation starts to read your brain pattern and send you targeted ads. You know, just the dysphoria that we're heading to. Until then, we don't really have anything of mind reading. So as long as you keep your worst thoughts to yourself and your actions, so the things you do, the things you say, are aligned with usual human morality, who cares? You will die the very same. You will live your life, you will be a decent person, you can hate everyone, as long as you still treat everyone right, for one reason or another. Is it that much different to a person who loves everyone and therefore treats them right? I mean, now that I say it out loud, it's a little bit more effort for the person who hates everyone to treat right than for the other one. Though this is not in any way, shape or form judging. Like, the only thing you are judged by is your action, so none of these two is better or worse. They're both decent humans. Whoa, okay, we've got some rubber banding. Let's get rid of the stack for now. Okay, and this will all be gone within one episode as well. You know it, I know it. This time around I didn't really cut that well though. There are a few shorter sticks around. Which one was this? That's a shorter stick, okay. What was this one? Was that a short stick as well? I don't remember. I just put it in here. Okay, and this one no one needs. Speaking of the ability to save game, I've been thinking about something like what if you're thrown back in your life? Like, what if you're that and that age again and you can restart everything over? It's a cool thought, and I guess everyone who thinks about it for the first time is absolutely hyped by the idea. Oh, I can finally correct everything I did wrong, or I can make stuff even better. But the more you think about it, the less it makes sense. Because, let's be honest, if you're in the position in life that you're in right now, because, for example, you're lazy, do you really think that you will pick up a workout routine? Do you really think that you will actually start producing or learning more than you did before? Or will you just procrastinate all over again? Really? And that's only one part of the whole equation. The other part is, if it's not just your own personality that brought you to where you are, it's where life brought you. Like the people you interacted with or anything else. You have one chance to get rid of everyone that you didn't want in life. Like that, for example, that one abusive partner that you wish you would never even meet. You could do that. But in the same vein, who is to say that you're not finding, that you are finding your friends that you have right now the very same way again? Because in the end, all of those meetings are, in a way, by pure chance. Even if you specifically seeked out to meet someone, if you went to a gathering place like I don't know, a convention or a flirting app or whatever, you would need to be there just in the right time, in the right moment, and still be authentic, because the other person just doesn't know that you rewind the time, and they're not at the buddy position in life that they will believe you if you told them. So, like for example, I have one really wonderful friend that I met in VR chat. And I can't for the life of tell how. Like, I know that it was in one specific world in VR chat, and it was around a time frame. But if I would be to redo my life and not have any memory degradation that comes along this, because it would be years until I'm at that point again. So let's just say I would be able to go in with about the right memory I have right now. And I would be able to play VR chat around that time again. That one friend I caught that one friend's attention because I was silly going around with other friends. I don't know what I said in that situation. I don't know what I did in that moment. I was completely unaware of that person's existence at that point. If I even remember right, I don't know anymore. And if I redo all of the things, would I say the same again? Would I be there in that time frame again? Oh, didn't cut that one. And I don't think so. So I could, for example, change my life path and, get rid away from the people I really didn't like. Really didn't like. And be able to change outcomes that were horrible. My life is not the worst, so I don't have any extreme examples, but it's not a perfect life either. I think no one really has. So there might be things I want to change, but for all the things I could change, there are also the things that I would be scared if they change. Oh shit. Really? Also, yeah, what was I about to say? I don't know. There was one more part about all of this thought experiment, but I kind of forgot that. Anyway, yeah, it's a cool thought. Like, what if you had, like, for example, a logbook of all the events that happened in your life? That way, you would get rid of the bad parts and still be able to replicate the good parts. If we ignore for a moment that you would have to be the very same way authentic, because you wouldn't go in as a stranger into a friendship. You would go in as someone who kind of wants to force the friendship upon another person. Because let's not forget, you have been friends. Yes. Right now, you are friends with the friends you have. But in this alternate timeline that you would be able to start all over again, you're not friends yet. So you're on the status of strangers with your intent to becoming friends again, but not again in that timeline. Does it make sense? I hope. So it's like right now you would go up to any stranger and force friendship upon them. You see how that doesn't work, do you? I hope you do. And now I remember what I was going to say, and while I was saying this, I think I forgot. Oh, yeah, right. So even if you had this logbook of all the events in your life and how to replicate them, the main reason why you want to restart your life over is not to replicate all the events. Maybe, just maybe, because you want to relive your best moments in life. Okay, that's fair. But I think the main reason is to make things better. I think I cut everyone here. The main reason is to make things better, and for that, you will have to change stuff up. So even with a logbook of all of the events in your life, what you're left with is, once you change the first thing, the first interaction, you're gonna be in dead waters again. Because from there, either very critical or just harmless. It really depends. You would have new situations. So let's just say, what is an extreme example to get the point across? Let's say you've been in a relationship with a toxic partner for most of your life, and you just wish you have gone out of that earlier at your life. So if you would replay this, you either go out earlier, but then the question, why do you start it in the first place? Or you just avoid them at all cost. Now you would have to think about all that life that you lived as a single. Because all of the usual things that you either did together or the work you split up for that time, like that partner, for example, did the house chores, so you were able to go to university and learn. So now you would be alone and go to university. That means you have to juggle your life in a different way. And maybe you had a side hobby that really blew up later, and that doesn't mean that you should stay together. No. Splitting is still the better option in such a case, but you are just not ready anymore to have a better timetable for all of that side stuff. And with that, even redoing your life, you would be in a very different spot again. Whoops. Doesn't matter. So it's not the best superpower in my opinion. Save games though, because save games are kind of, how do I put it? Remember when we tested out the floors at the start of the episode? If you would have this save game ability in real life, you could do exactly that, because all of that, what I was talking about just now, is for long-term solutions. Like if you restart your life at the age of what would be non-traumatizing. Because if you start out in the womb again with your full brain capacity, I mean, you would need your full brain capacity, otherwise it would be quite stupid starting over again, because where does it pick off? So as an embryo, you wouldn't realize that it's your second time around. As a small child, would you be able to realize? At what point would you be able to realize? And why don't you just jump in at that point anyway? So let's say you start out your life at 16 again. That's about where the brain should be in, about the state where you can realize what you're doing and what's going on. About, give it plus minus a few years. Okay, that doesn't matter. It's a thought experiment anyway. So, where was I going? So you start out from that point, right? You start out from that point, and you would have to relive everything. So you could forget about your previous run altogether. Like once you hit 30, you don't even remember what your 30s were like in the previous run? How do you call it? But with something like real life save game, we only talk about minutes here. So you could go in and you could, what is an example? You could brute force a job interviews. Like you could go in, the first time you go out with a very, very bad feeling in your tummy. Very, very bad feeling because, ooh, that did not go over well. So at that point you could just start over the past few minutes. There's nothing to remember. I mean, you just did it. And all that is gone. So forget about starting over live. No. Just a save game system to start over minutes. That's where it's at. And why am I talking about this so much? Simply because in the end, I would argue it is my favorite superpower. And maybe one of the reasons why video games are so great, because here we can do this shit. Oh my god, strictly 30 minutes. Strictly 30 minutes. Why did you guys let me ramble on the topic I really like to talk about? Because I completely forgot about the time. Wonderful. Strictly 30 minutes. My butt. So much about that. We're never gonna be able to break free from the 45 minutes. Forget it. There's no hope. I don't believe in it. You don't believe in it. No one believes in it anymore. I had a few 30-minute episodes before, but with all the things we want to do in this game, we have quite a to-do list and therefore a lot to do. Why is this one not grew? Oh, now it is. It's fun though. I absolutely don't have the time for that right now. That's why I wanted it to be strictly 30 minutes. I have to prepare for the evening, and I do still have to get up the stream from yesterday, so it's viable on YouTube. I mean, I want the first episode of that stream to come out today. Let's see, it's and I got like 2 hours to bring out this episode. Yeah, it's that close. Yeah, I know, surprising, isn't it? But like I said, I can't pre-record because a second episode right after this one would just outright destroy my existence. Why do you have to heat up so much around this time? Why do you hate me so much? Well, I would say we've got a few sticks. A few, not too many. It's good. I'm gonna miss that ramp. Maybe we can do something like a ladder. So we do have a second way up. But I will be able to build door and windows with this. I will be able to do the line across, and from there on we can do whatever we are free to do. Well, you know what? Such a good exit point. I really have to go. See you around. Bye bye.